Hello, everyone, dear viewers of the channel. I am Helena, the guardian of secrets, a researcher of mystical phenomena, and here with me is Vadim, a historian interested in folk culture.
And as always, I'm here to offer a grounded perspective to Helena's fascinating tales. Today's theme, Helena, sounds particularly poignant. Paradise Lost, stories of former golden ages and their sudden end. It suggests a deep-seated human longing for a past that perhaps never truly was.
Oh, but Vadim, in our Ukrainian folklore, these aren't just longings. They are echoes of memory, sometimes even warnings. Our ancestors often spoke of a time when the world was younger, when the veil between human and spirit realms was thin and abundance flowed freely. A true golden age where the land was fertile without much effort, and humans understood the whispers of the wind and the songs of the forest.
A romantic notion, certainly. But can we truly differentiate between a collective nostalgic idealization of the past, often spurred by present hardships, and an actual historical memory of a period of greater prosperity? Famines, wars, and migrations would naturally lead people to imagine a better before.
Take, for instance, the ancient tales of the land around the Dnipro, before the great floods and human folly changed its face. Legends speak of communities that lived in perfect harmony with the Vodyaniki, water spirits, and Lisoviki, forest spirits. People knew the ancient incantations to call upon the rain to ensure fertile fields and to keep the forest's bounty plentiful. It was an era of profound respect, a reciprocal relationship.
And what, according to these legends, brought this idyllic period to an end? Was it a natural disaster, an invasion, or some moral failing? From a historical standpoint, major societal shifts like the adoption of new agricultural practices or the impact of climate change often lead to a narrative of decline from a perceived golden age.
The stories often point to human greed, Vadim. They say people began to take more than they needed, to disrespect the spirits, to forget the ancient rites. They cleared sacred groves for larger fields, hunted animals without gratitude, and polluted the rivers. The spirits, once benevolent guides, grew weary and withdrew, or sometimes they turned vengeful, unleashing plagues, droughts, or making the land barren. This wasn't merely a change in crops. It was a severing of a spiritual connection, a profound loss of grace.
So, the fall is essentially a metaphor for humanity's evolving relationship with its environment, particularly as societies grew more complex and perhaps more exploitative. The angry spirits could represent the consequences of unsustainable practices, like soil depletion or deforestation, which would indeed lead to a decline in prosperity. Psychologically, blaming a past transgression offers a moral framework for understanding current challenges.
But it's more than just a metaphor for environmentalism. Consider the legends of the Zmi, the ancient serpent beings, who in some tales were not always evil. They guarded immense knowledge, and in the Golden Age, certain chosen individuals could commune with them, gaining wisdom that protected their communities. When that connection was lost through fear or betrayal, humanity lost access to profound spiritual insights, leaving us to stumble in ignorance.
It's true that serpents often symbolize wisdom, knowledge, and even regeneration across many cultures. The loss of connection with these powerful ancient symbols could indeed represent a transition from a more animistic, nature-centric worldview to one that emphasizes human dominance or monotheistic beliefs. This shift would certainly feel like a loss to those adhering to the older traditions.
Precisely. And it's not just about the macrocosm. Even in individual families, there are stories of the domovik, house spirit, being offended by disrespect or neglect, leading to misfortune, illness, or the family's prosperity fading. This reflects the same pattern of a benevolent guardian withdrawing due to human failing.
That's a fascinating micro-example of the larger theme. The domovik serves as an embodiment of the home spirit and the family's well-being. Its benevolence is conditional on respect, cleanliness, and adhering to traditions. When these are neglected, the household declines, which the folklore attributes to the domovik's anger, but which we might interpret as a breakdown of social order, hygiene, or family cohesion.
What I find so moving, Vadim, is that these stories are not just about lamenting a lost past. They carry within them the seeds of how to restore harmony. They remind us of the value of gratitude, respect for nature, and the importance of remembering our connection to something larger than ourselves. Losing this knowledge means losing part of what makes us Ukrainian.
And as always, the journey into these ancient truths is one we cherish.
For more explorations into the fascinating world of Ukrainian mystical stories and their historical contexts, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode.